Hello, this is Jolanta from the YouTube channel English with an Erudite. I teach English a little bit here on YouTube. I teach English online and in my home. I also talk about my garden in some of the videos that I upload onto my YouTube channel. Recently, a subscriber of mine has asked me to make a video about the ways I approach the problem of drought. It is a very serious problem in my country right now. I live in zone 6B in Central Europe. In the past, our winters were very, very cold and there was a lot of snow. Nowadays, there is very little snow or no snow at all, and young people don't even understand the word thaw anymore. This May, we had very little rain, and in June, we had a really hot and dry spell. So I must say, I got quite desperate because my plants were suffering and I had a limited amount of rainwater to use in the garden. My basic principle is not to use tap water in the garden. So in this video, I want to show you my strategy and the various ways in which I approach the problem of drought, the problem of lack of rainfall. I hope you're going to enjoy the video. My primary goal is to collect as much water as possible. At present, I have got 6 water vats which are attached to the drain pipes, and the drain pipes collect the rainwater from my roof. I can collect about 1,500 liters in my water vats. The flower pot serves as a weight, as an extra weight, because in the strong wind the lids tend to fly in all directions. On a rainy day such as yesterday or last night, I try to collect as much rainwater as possible. So in addition to my 6 water vats, I also put any container that I have, even the wheelbarrow, in all the places where I'm likely to collect some rainwater. You might think I have become paranoid about it, or a little bit paranoid about it, by judging by the recent drought. We are going to have to collect as much rainwater as possible for later. With the youngest roses, I use a very simple bottle irrigation system. Take a look. It is a bottle, plastic bottle without the bottom, and there is a spike attached to the top of the bottle which stabilizes the bottle in the soil, and there are holes in the spike. Actually, there is one hole in the spike to which either you can attach a valve. So it is a valve, and the valve controls the amount of water that drips slowly into the soil, or you can disconnect the valve and the water drips through this hole. I find this system very, very practical because I know that one should water roses very slowly, and of course never on the leaves. But I do not have the time to stand here with a watering can and water the youngest roses drop by drop. So I put such a bottle in the ground, I fill it up with water, and the water slowly drips into the ground. It doesn't look particularly pretty, but it's for the first year and especially for the driest weeks. I really recommend this system to everyone. Apart from the many roses that I grow in my garden, and I must say roses are quite tolerant of drought, especially when they are a little bit older. They might not produce many flowers and they might drop their flower buds, but they're going to survive the drought, I suppose. So in addition to the roses, I grow drought tolerant perennials or biannuals or annuals. For example, plants like this coneflower with hairy leaves, or various types of grasses. This ornamental grass is called grey sedge, with beautiful seed heads. I also grow plants with tap roots. This one is a verbascum, and I allow my verbascums to self-seed freely. They're very tough. I also have a lot of false sunflowers. Sometimes they are single sunflowers. Sometimes they are double sunflowers. They're very easy to grow, extremely easy to propagate. They self-seed. So if you don't want your garden to change into a field of false sunflowers, you have to weed out all the seedlings in the spring and then repeat the procedure in the summer. I also try not to leave any bare soil. So I grow a lot of ground cover plants, such as this one. It's Hedera helix, so it's ivy. I'm sure you all know it, and you might even hate it because it is pretty invasive. I also grow Japanese spurge. It's very tough, evergreen, and I think in the end it's going to win with the ivy. Another plant with taproot is evening primrose, and as the name suggests, it opens in the evening. So now it's too early for the flowers to open and show their beauty. And what I have recently realized is that in fact I've got a disused septic tank which is hidden by the ivy. It's a very old septic tank, so I must check whether it is tight enough, whether it does not leak, and if it doesn't, next year I'm going to connect it to the drain pipes. So it is my plan for next year. Right, so that's all for today. I hope that you have learned a little bit from me, and I would really like to encourage you to follow in my footsteps if that's possible in your case. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.